You've survived 3 rounds of interviews and you've proven you can do the job, but now you're facing the C-suite executives and they don't care about your day-to-day tasks. They're looking for chemistry, compatibility, and that wow factor. I'll share with you the 5 critical hacks I used to win over CEOs in the banking and consulting industry. The first and most important one, know your audience. When you're about to meet the CEO, remember that you very likely passed the professional and the technical screening already. Now, it's highly likely that you're being matched against other candidates that have met the same criteria. That makes it all the more important that you come across as likable and memorable to stand out from other applicants. For that, you first need to know who is sitting in front of you. As we know, many executives don't climb the corporate ladder because of their technical skills, but more so because of their communication and their social skills. That means a lot of the time your exec interviews will be with people that like to talk and that like to talk about themselves. For this type of person, make sure you don't interrupt them when they're speaking and give them as much time and space to talk about themselves and talk about the company as possible. This will make them feel good about themselves when they're leaving the room and will leave a positive association with you. When I was interviewing for a role at the bank, in one of the last phases of the interview process, I had to meet one member of the board. I was rather junior at the time, and I remember clearly getting ready to impress the member of the board with all of my achievements that I had done in my career. Eventually, though, during the call, I could sense that he was way more interested in talking about himself and me asking him questions. So, to please the extrovert type, even if they are asking a question to you, after you've answered it, you can throw back a question at them. This way, it will seem more like a conversation and less like an interview. For example, when they ask you, why do you want to work here? After you've given your answer, you can ask the following question. What made you choose to join this company specifically? This will get them to talk about themselves. When they ask, are there any changes that you would like to see in our organization? After giving your answer, you can say, what are the biggest challenges this organization is facing within the next 5 years from your point of view? Also, make sure to research them beforehand thoroughly. Check their LinkedIn and look for any kind of similarity that you can find. For example, maybe they speak a foreign language that you speak as well. Maybe they did a semester abroad in the same city as you did. Maybe they posted about their dog and you're a dog parent as well. Bring it up in conversation to create that mutual likability and to create that chemistry and that spark. Now, sometimes though, you will find the kind of person that is more of an introvert in executive positions and who might have actually gotten the job because of their technical skills. From my experience, this is less often the case, but you still need to be prepared for that case. Unlike the extroverts, they will not fill the silence for you. They will much rather sit back and evaluate how you structure your thoughts. Here, if you give short, one-sentence answers, the energy in the room will die. Your focus should be on giving a structured answer while keeping the other person engaged. For example, if they ask you how you handled a difficult project, you can say, I approached that challenge through 3 specific lenses: the data, the timeline, and the people. Then walk them through all of these points. It shows that you can structure your thoughts and makes it easier for the other person to actually follow you along. This structured response is both applicable to extroverts and introverts. Of course, this categorization into extroverts and introverts is quite a black and white thinking, and the reality is way more complex than that. You can use these techniques as a guidepost when you're going into your next executive interview. Hack number 2, focus on the future. Executives live in the future. 10% of their job is looking at what we're doing today, and the other 90% is steering the company towards what happens and what matters in the next 2 to 5 years. If you spend the whole interview looking in the rearview mirror of your CV, you're not really speaking their language. The hack here is the 80-20 rule. If you're being asked about a past project or task that you've been doing, spend 20% of your time on what happened and 80% on what lessons you learned, and more importantly, how you're going to apply your knowledge to this position that you're applying for. Don't just say, I managed that project. You can say, managing that project taught me how to align conflicting stakeholders under pressure. The skill I plan to use here to help you navigate the current transition into AI-driven workflows. This way, you're showing them that you're not just chronologically repeating your own career. You have a growth mindset. You're learning from past experience, and you're already solving the company's problems. Hack number 3, show that you can think critically. As much as people like compliments, and you should if you can sprinkle in some here and there, but fangirling too hard can definitely backfire. If you agree with every single thing that the CEO says, they will think of you as a yes man or yes woman and not as a top tier hire. They appreciate candidates who are critical thinkers. Before the interview, find a podcast, a keynote, an article, or a LinkedIn post that they have published where they have shared their opinion or a point of view on a certain subject. And then Don't just memorize it, but analyze it. Talk about the topic with your friends, colleagues, or family, and develop your own standpoint. When you're in the room, bring it up. For example, I saw your recent post about the shift toward integrating AI into everyday workflows. It's a compelling vision, but it actually made me think about the potential friction in maintaining team culture and human connection. How are you planning to mitigate that as the tech takes over more of the day-to-day? This is a massive wow factor. It shows that you follow their content, that you can think critically, and that you are able to engage in a strategic conversation about a certain subject matter. Hack number 4, be sensitive to their time. The biggest mistake I see high performers do is focusing too much on the day-to-day nitty-gritty of their job. They start explaining the technical setup of a project, the software they used, or the project schedule. But here's the truth. Senior executives don't care about your tasks. They care about your impact. If you're talking in detail about your day-to-day activities, you will bore the executives fast, they will not remember what you have said, and they will think of you more as a worker rather than a leader. Every answer you give should link back to how you can help them reach their goals faster and better. Instead of saying, I organized 15 weekly sprints to launch the product, you can say, I streamlined our execution so that the product hit the market 3 months early, which allowed the CEO to hit the annual revenue target ahead of schedule. Hack number 5, show that you are a low-risk hire. The final thing an executive is looking for in a candidate, even if they are not your direct manager, is autonomy. They want to know that if they hire you, they're actually bringing in a self-managing leader who will not create more but less work for the whole leadership team. So the hack here is to reframe yourself as high autonomy, low maintenance. Focus on your ability to handle complexity without needing constant escalation. You can frame it like this. I've built my career on being a self-governing leader. I'm looking for an environment where I can take full ownership of my projects and team, as I'm someone who delivers the best results when given autonomy and upfront trust, while staying aligned with the company's business goals. To sum it up, know your audience. Identify if they are an extrovert, give them space to talk and connect personally, or an introvert, then you lead the conversation with a structured logic. Hack number 2, focus on the future. Use the 80-20 rule to spend the majority of your time discussing how your past lessons will solve their future challenges. Hack number 3, think critically. Move from fangirl to strategic peer by researching their public work and offering a respectful, unique perspective on it. Hack number 4, stay out of the weeds. Focus on high-level impact and bottom-line results rather than getting bogged down in day-to-day tasks. Hack number 5, prove you're low risk. Demonstrate professional self-sufficiency by showing you can take full ownership and drive results with total autonomy and alignment. I hope this was helpful. Hit the like button and subscribe if you liked it and you want to watch more content like this. Good luck for your interview. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.